Once again, we are back in the flesh. Taylor, what's good?
I'm good, but I'm excited.
You excited?
I'm excited.
Why are you excited, Taylor? Talk to me. What's going on?
We have a name now.
We do have a name.
Yeah.
Are we going to unveil it right now? You want to do it right now? Or
yes.
you want to make the people wait?
No, it's the beginning. It's the intro. Why don't we just
get right to it?
Yeah.
Well, you know me, man. I go by the name of Torae. I do it all. I can't even start running down my rundown.
I'm Taylor. I do some of it. I definitely don't do all the things that Dad does.
You don't do it all, but you do some of it.
Yeah.
And welcome to our podcast, now officially titled
Family Matters.
Family Matters, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, we came up with a name. Thank you for all of your suggestions. We got a bunch more suggestions last week.
Yeah.
Shout to my former assistant, the homie Ashley, one time for Harlem.
Hi,
Ashley. She had a dope one too. She said nothing but a T thing. A lot of people like that, but ultimately we decided to go with Family Matters. Shout out to Steve Urkel. I don't want no smoke with the Winslows, the Urkels, none of that, man. But it's Family Matters, Torae and Tay. Now that we got all the formalities out the way, can we get to it and do it?
Now we could really get in.
Now we can really get. We get a logo now. You know what I'm saying? We can start promoting. We can make T-shirts.
We official.
You want some T-shirts?
Yeah.
I think some Family Matters T-shirts.
We'll do hats.
Hats. Dad hats.
Dad hats.
Yeah, Snapbacks. Dad hats.
No, just that hat.
Fitted Scullies.
No.
You know,
I can do a Scully.
You know, men's need a fitted. You know, I got a lot on my mind.
Do a Scully.
No doubt. I don't wear Scullies in the summertime like all y'all cool kids.
That's cool though.
Y'all be wearing shorts, T-shirts, and I'm like, yo, what are you doing with a Scully on? It's 97 degrees out here.
But like your head don't get hot.
Nah, it definitely does.
Oh,
it definitely
your
does.
Head get hot.
Whatever, man. So you ready to get into this week's show?
Yeah, I'm ready.
So we're gonna start. We got segmented. It's broken down. We're gonna start with the new music segment. So some new music out there.
Kids see ghosts.
Kids see ghosts sometimes. Kids see ghosts sometimes.
What is that referencing?
I don't know.
Oh, I thought it was a thing that everybody knew that I just didn't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I hope that they give us some more insight on what it means and kind of breaking down the title. Nobody outside of Pusha has really done press, you know what I'm saying, for like the releases. I would like to see.
Press is kind of like obsolete now. Like nobody really does press.
You do your own press.
Beyonce did the whole drop her album out of nowhere, nobody really like sits down and does like a run. Right,
especially the big artists. You know what I'm saying? Like we did see Pusha do a bit of a run, you know what I'm saying, making his way through different radio platforms and TV platforms. But for the most part, like big artists like a Drake or Nicki, they'll do one or two big things and then that's it.
Yeah.
But Cudi's been off the scene so long, and I mean, we haven't heard from him press-wise or even from himself, you know, because a lot of what I see artists doing now is doing their own thing, you know what I'm saying, putting out their own content and kind of telling their own story the way they want to. But we haven't really got any of that from Cudi, so I would love to see him back, you know, just in the marketplace,
the last we heard from Cudi was that album that he dropped. What was that, 2015, 2016?
I remember the last time I saw Cudi, he was on stage with a shirt that looked like the one you got on right now. Son had his whole midriff out, man. But how do you feel about the Kids See Ghosts album?
I like it. I think, I'm not going to say that. I'm conflicted. I think that it's good. I think that it could be better. And I think that it's short. I get the whole 7 songs.
Yeah, they all short.
But I needed something more. Like, I just needed like something else. I don't know what, but I think I trusted them to give me that, and I didn't get it.
So you didn't get that feeling?
No.
Because I remember we were talking about, we were talking about a feeling, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying, like Cudi and Ye.
I didn't get that Cudi and Ye, like, yeah, I'm excited that this is the album vibe. I just like, it's like a body of work. Like, it's cool.
It's cool.
Yeah.
Do you think that that's to the detriment of everybody a part of the 7 album cycle, like the 7 song cycle?
Yeah, because you have 7 songs. You gotta say what you need to say.
Get right to it.
Get right. There's no time like play. You can't do like interlude. You can't do intro, outro. You gotta do.
And then also with the albums coming week after week after week, it's not really a lot of room for them to breathe either. You know what I'm saying? Like, because you're not really ingesting and being excited about the project because you know Friday something is dropping. You know what I'm saying?
That's true. I feel like Ye didn't get a lot of time to breathe because, you know, Kids See Ghosts was dropping.
He did enough breathing.
And then Kids See Ghosts probably not gonna have a lot of time to breathe because Tayler Taylor dropping right after that.
Nas is next. Nas the 15th.
Oh yeah, Nas.
Don't ever skip over Queens.
Sorry.
Don't skip over QB, baby.
Listen, if y'all had bigger streets and they wasn't so narrow, maybe.
If it wasn't 110th Street, Avenue, Boulevard, and Road, all in the same place, I'd be like, yo, what did people do before GPS? It's crazy out there navigating them Queens streets. But yeah, man, so I'm excited because like we just said, Nas is on schedule for next week, and Tiana's on schedule for after that. Now, here's the one thing with an R&B album: can you do 7 joints? Like, Tiana's dope. She hasn't been out for a minute. She hasn't been out for a minute. Her last album was super dope, Criminally Slept On. And I feel like her profile is super high right now. You know what I'm saying? With the Fade to Fit, after she did the Fade video, her and the Mind got the reality show. Obviously, we had the breaks for a season. And
now she's doing something else. Oh, no, that's not her.
She's in something else though, and she in like one of them dancing.
She's in one of those Netflix movies.
Oh, she is.
Yeah,
she's doing a lot, man. Shout out to Nikki. Shout out to Bo, the whole family. So I just want more. I want more than 7 songs from Tayler. I'm gonna be honest.
Well, I think that I feel like this is how I imagine in my head. It's Kanye and Tiana, and Kanye was like, all right, 7 songs. And she was like, no, I need more. Like, she got like that fiery attitude. She got that spirit.
Definitely fiery.
So I feel like she definitely pushed him like, yeah, let me get a little more. But, I mean...
I think, you got to stick to the script. I mean...
No, because...
In all honesty, I would love more than 7 from Nas as well.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But if you got to stick to the script...
If Nas has 7, then I think she has 7.
Then Tiana got 7. So we'll see, man. So... I listened to Kids See Ghosts. I did. I listened to it. I listened to it a couple times.
Together.
Yeah, I listened to it a couple times. Well, I played it twice this morning in the gym, so you wouldn't have known that. I did play it. I ran through it twice in the gym, and then I played it as we were on the way here. And I like it. I like it. Yeah. I like the vibe. I like the feeling of it. You know what I'm saying? It kind of leans more to, I think, Cuddy's sound, or what I'm used to hearing from Cuddy than Ye per se.
It was like both of their names on it, but it was more like Kanye produced Cuddy sound.
I actually saw that the track listing, it had other, like, Mike Dean is, I think it was like a lot of co-production on this one, whereas Ye might have did the bulk of the other stuff. I think it was more co-producing on this project, man. But it just felt good to hear Cuddy. We got a Mos Def chorus and verse. I'm always present for that. You know what I mean? Shout to the Mighty Mos. I'm always available for one of those.
When you were listening to Fourth Dimension, aka the first song for you guys that like didn't listen to it, don't know. You were like sitting there vibing, and then you heard the pop, 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 pop. Did you get scared like I did?
Nah.
I was mad confused.
I was just like, we doing this again?
I can feel the love. Pop, 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 boom, 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 boom. I was like,
I'm gonna put the music in right under there so that people can vibe with you. Yeah, man. I don't know if I can. I don't know if that's a UMG project or not. So yeah, maybe I will not. But I was excited to hear Mos Def. You know what I'm saying? Like, you getting like Ghost on this joint, like literally. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like people you haven't seen or heard from or a minute. You know what I'm saying? They like anomalies almost. You got Cuddy. You know what I mean? You got Mos.
Kids See Ghosts.
I saw 3 Stacks names involved in there somehow. He like co-produced on something. So yeah, they pulled out all the stops. Shout out to Prana. We saw her at the listening out in LA.
Yesterday I texted her, I was like, hey, so how you doing? You know, graduation coming up soon. Congrats. Did you listen to Kids See Ghosts, or did you go to the listening party? She's like, dude, because she's from California. So she's like, dude, her and her dad, like, we're supposed to go to this business meeting, and they just ended up at the Kids See Ghosts listening party. So shout out to them. That's cool.
No doubt. So big shout out to everybody, man, who we saw rocking out with it and all that. So where is Kanye on like people's pissed off list or pissed off meter these days? He brought Cuddy back. I still haven't listened to Ye. You know what I'm saying? Like, I haven't given it any streams. I did hear it. I haven't gotten.
But you haven't given it any.
I haven't given it any streams on any of the streaming platforms. Like, none of those numbers that came out are attributed from my personal iPhone 10. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
but you
flex.
you feeling like Ye is getting back into people's good graces, or?
Yeah, because I think that Kanye brought back Cuddy. Like, they weren't friends for a while,
right?
And so they kind of were like, you know what? Let's just come together. Let's just be friends, because it's about the music. It's about the art. So I think if they wouldn't have become friends again, I don't think Cuddy would have came out with music. So he kind of single-handedly brought Cuddy back. And I know a lot of people miss Cuddy. A lot of people love Cuddy.
People love Cuddy.
And I think he brought it back. So
I forget what year it was. Years ago, there was a show in New York at the Highline Ballroom. The lineup was Pete Rock. It was when his album was coming out, New York's Finest. And he had 3 openers on the show. Torae,
yeah, I remember.
Kid Cudi, and Wale. And that's when we all met.
It's a great lineup.
That was a solid lineup. They've gone on to be superstars. I've gone on to be right here. But Cudi and I always were cool. We always had a cool relationship, and when he came out with all of his talk about, his depression and his anxiety and things like that, I definitely, felt for him, because it's something that a lot of people aren't talking about in music. It's something a lot of people are going through, and I think especially in the African American community, in the hip hop community, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, we don't really talk about mental health. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's definitely stigma attached to it. So with everything that's going on with Ye, I do like the fact that he's speaking and, just kind of shining light on a subject that a lot of people haven't spoken about.
That's why I listen to
him being bipolar. Obviously, Cudi, talked about his things. And I do want to jump into the two unfortunate suicides that we had in the industry this week, but I do want to stay in the new music segment for a minute. So let's jump into the streams of Thought, Black Thought and Ninth Wonder. Did you listen to that?
Yeah, I was up in that one, bro.
Definitely did not listen to it, liar.
I didn't. I'm sorry.
Shout out to Black Thought. Do you know who Black Thought is?
No.
Of the legendary Roots crew. Do you know where they are currently employed night after night? Yes, they are. They do the music. They're the band for Fallon, man. But prior to all of that, a Philly collective of musicians. Shout to everybody. I mean, there's too many to name in the entire Roots, man. But most people know Black Thought and Questlove. You know what I'm saying?
I know Questlove.
Questlove, the Afro, drummer with the Afro. Yeah, he's from that crew. So a lot of people were wanting Black Thought to do a solo album for a long time. Just, hearing him outside of the Roots and what they're known for, just because he's one of the best MCs of all time. You know what I'm saying? Like, hands down, nobody who listens to lyrics or lyricism is going to tell you any different. Definitely one of the illest MCs of all time. So him and Ninth got together for like 5 joints. Quick.
Oh,
Everybody.
Wonder.
Ninth Wonder.
I know him.
You know Ninth?
I know of him.
Yeah.
Have I met him?
Yeah, you met Ninth a few times. That's that. Shout out to Ninth. Shout out to the whole NC, the whole family, the whole Jam with family. Yeah, so they got together for a project. Crisis also is produced on it. So it's actually Black Thought, Ninth Wonder, and the Soul Council. With streams of Thought. It's dope.
All 3 of them.
I feel like you're being sarcastic right now. And you're not going to be able to go to no hip-hop shows. They're going to run up on you. You know what I mean? The backpack is going to run up on you. So I was very excited that Ninth was involved and Black Thought was giving us what we have been waiting for a long time. Now, again, I was more so not upset, but just like when I saw that it was only 5 joints, it was like, dog, we need more music. But I believe there's gonna be a trilogy of joints. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's gonna be a 3 parts. Because this definitely says Volume 1 in the title, and I do believe from what I read that it's gonna be more music, man. So shout out to Black Thought and Ninth Wonder on that joint. If you haven't caught Streams of Thought Volume 1, definitely check it out if you're a fan of them bars.
So if we get 3 volumes, each with 5 songs, that's 15
That's 15.
songs.
That's an album.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Album and then some.
I'm wondering if he's gonna delve into different chambers. You know what I'm saying? Like with this one,
with different volumes.
Well, yeah, because this one is just straight dope beats and rhymes, which you expect from Black Thought. But I did see a few people like express like, yo, it's not, he didn't get super musical, or he didn't really talk about XYZ topics. You know what I'm saying? Like he was just rapping. We know you can rap. So we'll see what the next couple volumes hold, as far as the creativity and where they decide to go with it. But it's still a dope listen. You know what I mean? Again, something I listen to in the gym. So I've been doing 2-a-days, ladies and gentlemen, since after Memorial's Day. Me and the wife, she out here flexing and all that. We've been doing 2-a-days since after Memorial Day, and I've also been on just fruits and veggies and water. You know what I'm saying? This is like day
Every time
12.
I come upstairs, Dad eating a salad. I got like some kale, some super greens, some cucumbers, like light on dressing. I'm like,
yeah, I'm just out here
dog, you want some pizza? Like,
just out here trying to prolong this, this vehicle
hungry.
of mine. Nah, I'm Gucci.
Really?
Yeah.
Salad is not really filling.
It's mind over matter. Not only, I have my protein shakes, you know what I'm saying? Like, just fruits, you know what I'm saying? And drinking water. I think a lot of times when you feel like you hungry, your body is really thirsty. You know what I'm saying? So, like, drink some water. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can do that. It's okay.
Yeah. I feel like when I drink water, I get full, but then like 20 minutes later, I'll be hungry again. So that's how I know I be hungry and not thirsty.
Well, listen, you got to at least try it, see what happens. The downside to all of that is having to use the bathroom all the time. Like
that's the worst.
I got to like give myself like an 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock cutoff because I be peeing. You know what I mean? Waking up 2-3 times a night to go pee, man. That's super duper whack. Anyway,
scary.
enough about my health. Last in the new music section, Will Smith jumped on Icon. How did you feel about that, Tay?
That was cool. I liked it.
You liked it?
Yeah.
You want to jump on one of my joints?
I've been on some of them. So.
Now I need at least 8. I need 8 bars.
8?
The 8 bars.
Bars?
You don't got no bars?
No.
Yeah, I thought that was super dope, man. Will Smith is, and I told you this from before, like when I saw him strategizing and moving on the gram and all that. I thought Will is about to introduce some music or something. Like he not just getting on Instagram so in depth, you know what I'm saying? Because again, like we said, we've spoken about before, his Instagram ain't just, yo, I'm taking the selfie. His joint is like, yo, set up the lights.
Yeah, I don't know if y'all seen it, but he has executive producers, special effects.
They roll credits at the end of his gram.
He does. Like, if y'all seen his vlogs are on point. They're very good looking.
He definitely be using all the interns from the studio. He'd be like, yeah, I got y'all. Come work for, you know what I mean? Willennium or whatever the name of his company is.
Willennium.
Nah, that was the thing. But he jumped on the joint with Jaden, which I thought was dope. That record is still out here moving. It's already platinum or whatever, and it's still out here doing the damn thing.
He brought his plaque to the Met Gala.
He did.
So
you
can't forget that platinum.
He definitely brought his plaque with him to the Met Gala.
Shout out Jaden. To
No
be
doubt.
doing all of that and still be 19, that's amazing.
Killing it. Moved out the crib at 15.
Did he actually do that, or did he ask to? He didn't move out.
He didn't move out.
He just asked to, and Jada was like, "No."
Nah, she said it. She said she was let him go. She let him go.
No, he stayed.
Did he?
Yeah.
I mean, if you move out the crib, did he like move to like a annex or something?
You know what I mean? To a different part of the house.
Yeah, like a different, like when your house that big, can you like move out but still live there? Like, I live, you know what I mean, 200 acres away.
Nah, he stayed.
Just down the hall.
He stayed. Jada was like really sad that he wanted to move. But I don't think he like wanted to move because he's like, I hate you guys. I think he just wanted to move because he could.
Yeah. Nah, they were raised different, but he's such a free thinker. Like, you've seen that.
That's real free thinking.
For sure. Not that hashtag free thinking.
Yeah.
But just really like doing his own thing. You know what I'm saying? From like his style of dress to his hair to his music and through all of these different phases we've seen Jaden go through. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could tell they was raised different and raised not to be afraid.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
They definitely raised them really well. Not saying that you guys didn't raise me well, but they definitely raised them really, really well. And I think that's why everybody loves Jaden, everybody loves Willow, and I think that's why they are the people they are now, because they have that good support system. A support system is everything. If you got a good, positive support system, then you're not scared to do anything, because you know, even if other people don't support you, you still got these two people who support you.
And they get it. And everybody doesn't have to get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it's what you feel, if you feel like that's right, and you feel like that's your path in the way you want to go, you know what I'm saying? But I did see or hear that Willow talked about like her bouts with depression and cutting herself and things like that. You know what I'm saying? So even in all of that, like, there's no rule book, there's no handbook, there's no perfect way to roll out life. Like, life is just life. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can grow up rich, famous, you can grow up poor, homeless, unknown, you know what I'm saying? Like, and those dynamics will still shape you, but it doesn't necessarily mean because you grew up affluent that you're gonna have, you know what I'm saying, like this gold road through the rest of life. You know what I'm saying? And just because you came through hard times and adversity doesn't mean you're always gonna be in that space.
Yeah, I think that's the thing that people don't really get. Like, when I saw that roundtable like interview, I saw like a lot of YouTube comments where it was like, oh, she's too rich to be depressed. And I'm like, yo, dog, do you know what you're talking about?
Right. Yeah, I hate when I see stuff like that.
Like, when people say things but they don't like know what they're talking about, it's like, why are you talking?
Oh, that's the whole internet. The whole premises of the internet is say things but not know what you're talking about.
Like,
and especially in comments. You know, I think people are very reckless and carefree in comments, you know, kind of saying things, even if they don't wholeheartedly feel that way, like they'll say it just to get a rise out of people or just to get a response from that person. You know what I'm saying? So, like, you always got to take comments with a grain of salt. But, yeah, there's a lot of people who are uninformed and misinformed and just say things like, just because you're rich doesn't mean you can't be depressed.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we've seen it time and time again. And I guess that can move us right into our next topics, which are the apparent suicides of Kate Spade, the designer, and Anthony Bourdain, the traveler and chef and all that.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man. Yeah. It's crazy.
If that don't tell you, like,
rich
people. Oh, sorry, my fault. My bad. If that don't tell you that rich people don't have problems as well, I don't know what.
Right. I mean, you know, we was just out in the stores the other day, and I saw the whole Kate Spade section.
Kate
you know
Spade
what I'm saying?
was like I remember like
huge.
Growing up, like little girls had like Kate Spade bags, like they had like the little mouse Kate Spade bags, and like that was like the thing to me at least, where it's like you got your first Kate Spade bag, you was
coming
moving up there, and then you got like Coach, and then you got like Michael Kors, and then hopefully you've grown and you're not wearing Michael Kors and Coach anymore.
Wow, shots.
No, you
shots.
No,
they were shots. I agree with the shots, but they were shots nonetheless.
But like Kate Spade was kind of like the stepping stone. That's how you knew you was. Like you go to church, and your mom like, yo, grab the Kate Spade bag.
You like word? You like blessings on blessings.
You the show, yeah. So
yeah, man.
Really
so definitely condolences to her family and love and support to her friends and definitely, man, R.I.P. to Kate Spade. And then this Anthony Bourdain thing kind of came out of nowhere as well. And although I was not a frequent watcher of his shows, like super, I knew of him as definitely when I saw his face, I knew he was. But anybody who posted anything about him always talked about his energy, his spirit, and how inspiring he was to them, from his love of food and love of travel, which is pretty much like two things that many people love, you know what I'm saying, and hopefully in their life get a chance to do, explore, travel, and try different foods. He combined those things and put it on display for the world, and so many people were touched and affected, by his untimely death.
I've seen a lot of like my favorite actors, but like anytime I've met Anthony or like Mr. Bourdain, he's always been like the nicest guy, the super nicest guy. He's always like, you should try this. Yo, look, let me make something for you. Like, try this, do that. So he was, I know it's really sad, both of them, but like.
Mad people that I know knew him, you know what I'm saying, and talked about their time with him and, just what type of energy and spirit he had, man. But you never know what people are going through, you know what I'm saying? You never know what demons they're struggling with. You never know. And, like, depression is real, and we can't continue to just blow it off and say, oh, get over it or man up or, you know what I mean? Like, suck it up or whatever. Like, especially depression is real. Like, people have feelings. They go through things, and all these different things trigger different things in you. You know what I'm saying? And it doesn't matter if you're on TV or the radio or successful or rich or the head of a company or any of that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, like look at Lil Peep. Especially, I think, like, depression in hip-hop, that's a thing. Like, for example, like Lil Peep, like, I know that was hard for, like, a lot of my friends, because I know that they're like, yo, I love Lil Peep. Lil Peep was, like, what I was listening to when I went through hard times, and everybody was like, oh, like, he died from drug uses. Like, that was his fault. But you got to, like, think about, you got to get in his head for a second. Like, why do you think he was using drugs?
Medicating, right?
He wasn't doing it to, like, be cool. Like, oh, yeah, I'm going to pop this Xan so I can, like, rap about it. He was doing it, to at least I think, to medicate. Like,
right, to numb the pain.
Yeah, he didn't have, like, an outlet. He didn't have, like, people to talk to. I'm sure he wasn't, like, actively going to, like, counseling or therapy. So he was doing it to medicate. So for you to be like, oh, like, these kids, like, doing drugs just to do drugs, like, no, think about what they're actually going through. And his was, like, very, like, not obvious, but, like, if you look at some of his Instagram captions, like, before he passed, he was like, yo, this, like, was a little sus. Maybe, he's actually going through something. Y'all just be like, oh, yeah, retweet. Like, no, I'm really, like, sitting here struggling. Y'all like, haha, mood. Like, it's not. Yeah,
it's funny. not just a hashtag. And I wanted to say, again, shout out to my homie Royce the 5'9", one time for that whole Detroit. What up, though? He got a song on his new project, Book of Ryan, which is also a very dope piece of work. Strong friend, man. So check up on your strong friends. Check up on your weak friends. Check up on your peoples, man. Your peoples that you love, your family, your coworkers, your loved ones, anybody that has a place in your heart, you know what I'm saying? Just, like, see what's up. And especially, the one that you turn to all the time for help, a shoulder to cry on, the air, money or whatever. Like, that person that's always there for you needs somebody too. You know what I'm saying? So definitely.
They dealing with their stuff, and they also dealing with your stuff now.
Absolutely. People hit me all the time like, yo, Tor, this and this and this and this and that. And I'll be like, word, I feel you, and I'm here for you, and and you know what I'm saying? But I never get that reciprocation, like, what's going on with you? Because people think it's just all good. Oh, you just bought a crib, you on this, you on that, like, you're good. I'm like, nah, I'm got, like, real, like, I shared with your mom that, a couple weeks ago or whatever, how I felt like I was failing. So I felt like I was failing.
Oh, failing.
Yeah.
Not feeling.
Not failing. No, like failing.
Fail
yeah, like
okay.
fail, like fail ing. Yeah, I was like, man, I think I'm failing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's things that I've done and accomplished, and like, I guess if I look at my starting point, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've come a long way, but if I look at where I imagine myself to be, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not the same space. It's not the same place. So
I think that's, sorry not to cut you off, but I think that's a real thing with, like, a lot of my creative friends and, like, people, like, they're like anywhere who's, like, a creator. Like, you feel like you've made strides and you, like, you're moving forward, but you're not where you want to be. But like, I think that when people tell me that, like, yeah, you know, like my art has been improving, but I'm not where I want to be. You got to think about like, well, first you shouldn't really like compare yourself to anybody, like,
right?
Like,
of course,
you
comparison is the thief of joy.
Yeah, it's a thief of joy, and I feel like you definitely shouldn't compare yourself to anybody. It's just like, unless it's constructive, unless it's like, you know, oh, look what they doing. Oh, I kind of like that. I'm inspired by that. If it's not positive, then don't do it. Yeah. And it's easier said than done.
Of course, it's easy to say that, like, you know, and I definitely know not to compare myself to other people. And, you know, I always say, at least out loud, and what I try to think to myself is I only compare myself to myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, Torae of yesterday, Torae of today, have you improved on that? You know what I'm saying? Like, have you done things to better yourself? You know what I'm saying? Like, are you moving in the right direction? And the answer to that is yes. You know what I'm saying? But it's human to kind of also observe what's going on around you and your peers. And, you know, even like I talked about that show, right? You know, you looked at 3 unknowns on that Pete Rock bill. You know what I'm saying? Like, Wale was bubbling, buzzing. Cudi was bubbling, buzzing. Torae was bubbling, buzzing. They went on to become, you know, especially in the community, hip-hop community, like household names. Whereas I'm still, like, on the cusp or still kind of in motion. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that gets to you, especially when you got friends, you got family, you know what I'm saying? You got people around that you want to do things for. And, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm the guy that people come to around the holidays or back to school or just in general. Yo, can you? And I'm like, yo, I'm not rich. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to always look out for my peoples and help. But I'm like, I got kids. I got my own things to do too. You know what I'm saying? So, like, you know, like, to understand, like, I want to be able to do more. You know what I'm saying? Like, and my thing was, I guess when I was younger, I always wanted to be on or famous or popular or whatever, because I saw that and it spoke to me in a different way. And it was like, yo, that's, you know, I feel like that's what my calling is. As I got in the business and involved and started to evolve, I want to be successful, not just for myself, but for other people. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to be successful so I could do things to help out, you know what I'm saying? Like, underprivileged kids. I want to be able to help send a kid to college. I want to be able to help, you know, send a kid to the prom nice and feel good, or just like simple things like when we did the backpack drive or the food drive. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know that those things mean a lot to people who don't have it. You know what I'm saying? Like, the difference between going to school and having all your supplies and going to school and not having your supplies and feeling already like I'm already not at the starting line. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a real thing. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if I could do anything to just help that kid get through that first week of school, you know what I'm saying? Like, that could change their life. You know what I'm saying? And it's that real. And that's part of why I want to be successful. It's like, I don't want to just be successful so I can have 3 watches on each wrist. Because I think that's asinine and ridiculous. And if you listening to this, I'm talking to you. But you know what I'm saying? Like, it's bigger than that for me. Like, it's not about me just flossing and stunting. It's like, yo, my legacy when I'm gone is like, how many people's lives did I affect positively? How much change did I put out in the world and the community? You know what I'm saying? Especially like where I'm from. You know what I'm saying? Like, what kind of difference can I make in Coney Island, in Brooklyn, in New York? And then, you know what I'm saying, take it worldwide. So, you know, I mean, I said all that to say that everybody goes through something. Yeah. Everybody goes through depression. I went to counseling as a kid, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I didn't fully know why my mom wanted me to go or, you know, what the motive was, you know what I'm saying? But I definitely think that it helped me get in touch with some of the stuff that I was feeling from younger on.
Especially as a kid, because you don't know what you're feeling. You don't know how to describe it. You just know what you're feeling, and you like, it's so hard to put emotions and things like that into words, especially, I mean, even as a kid or like as an adult. Like, sometimes I'll like be writing an essay and I'm like, yo, I want to say X, Y, and Z, but I don't know how to put it into ABC. So like, it's so hard to communicate and articulate how you feeling. But like, back to what you were saying, like how you want to help the community. I think that's the thing that a lot of people want to do, but before you help anybody else, I think you got to do it for yourself before you do it for anybody else. Because if you feel like, I have to do this so I can do this for the kids back in Coney Island, you got to like, you feel like you're indebted to them. And that's not, you don't owe them anything.
No, that's real.
You don't owe anybody anything. So you got to do it for yourself before you do it for others.
You know, but I do feel like with success comes a level of responsibility. Because like you said on the prior episode, these are the people that make you. You know what I'm saying? Like, the people that buy your merch, that come to your shows, that stream your music, those are the people that make you. So it's like, you can't just turn your back on them. And even if they not, Torae supporters, like, I'm from that neighborhood, I'm from that community. So me being there, having a presence there, and they like, yo, somebody from out here made it. You know what I'm saying? Outside of basketball, because I can't hoop. You know what I'm saying? Like, but somebody from this community made it, and I feel like, just seeing them, I feel like I can make it too. You know what I'm saying? Like, that in itself, that inspiration in itself, could be the difference between you making a bad choice or a great choice, that could ultimately affect your life. So I said all that, or we said all that to say, mental health is definitely real. We know it's shunned a little bit in our community. Tayler, you went to counseling as well?
I did.
You know what I'm saying? Like, as somebody who, you got your parents in the household, you know what I'm saying? Like, we not hard up for money, you know what I'm saying? Like, things like that. But that doesn't equate to happiness.
It really doesn't mean anything. I think that's a big thing where people feel like if you have it good, then you shouldn't really be feeling like this and that. But like, that's like, it's not a good rhetoric to keep on promoting, because it makes people with mental illness who have both parents in the house, good support system, money, good school, it makes them feel guilty for having this illness, and makes them feel like they're like a burden or a problem, when that's not true. It's not the case. It's not your fault. You have like this chemical imbalance in your brain, and it's just like whack that people keep on pushing this.
It's real.
Harmful rhetoric that, if you good off, then you have no reason to be depressed, and you lying, you faking, you a phony.
Nah. Life is real. Life is real, and your feelings are, you know what I'm saying? Like, I say,
are valid.
You can't always control your actions, but you definitely can't control your feelings. You know what I'm saying? Like, feelings is how you feel. You know what I'm saying? Like, your actions, for the most part, you have control over your actions. Like, yo, I feel like this, I want to do this, but then you don't do it because you have control over it. And I would say that that's more often than not. But your feelings are your feelings. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't help the way you feel. It's just how you feel.
Yeah.
It's just how you feel, man. So definitely, again, man, rest in peace to Kate Spade and Anthony Bourdain. And anybody who's listening who might have lost somebody, I had a friend commit suicide years ago, and I had no idea how to process it. I didn't know what to do with it. I didn't understand. I thought, like, partially I was to blame. You know what I'm saying? Like, you go through all these different thoughts and feelings about it when it hits really, really close to home. And shout out to all the artists who have been speaking out, man, like Kanye and Cudi. Mariah Carey recently talked about, her bout with bipolar disorder, saying with Demi Lovato. You remember Britney had the public meltdown, you know what I'm saying? And like, the press and people and the fans were definitely talking about it, and some people made fun of it, man. But like, she came out of that. Now, she's back.
Now she got her residency in Vegas.
She got her residency in Vegas, so she's definitely out here. Some of the people who passed away: Capital Steez, suicide; Avicii, Chester Bennington, Chris Lighty. A lot of artists, a lot of people in the business who, from the outside looking in, have it all together, man. So just, you never know, man. So definitely be mindful. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't just jump in people's comments with negativity and don't always have something to say. Like, see how people are doing, you know what I'm saying, before you come with whatever you holding on to. And I think a lot of people who are, like, spend time being evil, and they dealing with things to themselves, and they don't know how to deal with it. You know what I'm saying? So they lash out. That's how people. So, counseling is not anything to be ashamed of. Shout out to everybody who participates. Shout out to everybody who's in the mental health community. And you're listening to two people who both went to counseling, man. So definitely don't think that just because we sound cool and look cool in our flicks, you know what I mean, and all that. Like, everybody is going through something, man. So definitely, that's what it is. All for mental health. Also, just health in general. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's definitely something to be mindful of. Like, my whole 12-day thing, when I tweeted out, I was on, after I got through my first week, and I was just like, day 8, no bread, no pasta, no rice, just fruits, veggies, water. Mad people's like, why? And this and this and that. I can't go without it. You was mad people. and this and this and that. And it's like, man, I want to feel better. I want to look better. I want to be healthier, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to lean out, but in addition to all of that, you know what I'm saying? Like, some of the things that you put in your body aren't good for it, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, like, just being mindful of that. And on that note, I want to say rest in peace to my brother Sean Price, and definitely rest in peace to my man Combat Jack, who I've been meaning to shout out since we're in the 3rd episode. I've been meaning to shout Jack out since the 1st episode because he's also part of the reason, like, when I ran this idea by him about us doing the podcast, he was with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was one of the first supporters with it. Him and I were really good, cool friends. We spoke a lot. And when we spoke about me moving into the podcast space, you know, he was like, told you on the radio and TV and this and that. And podcasting is another outlet in another lane. We kept trying to figure out, but what am I going to do? Because you guys do interviews. These people do old school. These people. And I was like, well, what's my niche? Right. Where do I fit in? What's my lane? And, you know, just I think one time we was riding, I was driving to school or whatever. And I was like, yo, this is it. This is the conversation. I feel like this is the void. This is the conversation that people need to hear outside of the household or the car. And when I ran it past my bro, Combat Jack, he was like, that's it. You know what I'm saying? That's perfect. And unfortunately, he passed before we got a chance to do it. But I wanted to see it through and see it to fruition for the fact that, you know, we spoke about it and said we would do it. And also because it's a conversation that needs to be had and heard, man. So rest in peace to the homies. More news. What's going on out here, Taylor?
Nicki Minaj released her album artwork.
How you feel about it?
It's okay. the noise I made like it sound like it's not okay, but I just don't like the font of like Queen. Like it's just like it's a weird like ugly font.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It looks like some. It's supposed to be like Egyptian or something. I don't want to say that.
Yeah. I mean, you're right. You don't know, but it's okay to be wrong. Yeah. As I looked at it, like generally, I looked at it and I was just like, oh, it's a cool shot. You know what I'm saying? Like she's showing body, but not too crazy. You know, it's sexy, but not like over the top. It speaks to Queen, the title, you know what I'm saying? But I didn't do the knowledge on if it's derived from something or somewhere else. I feel like if it's inspired or derived from something or somewhere else, then that's dope. You know what I'm saying? Like if she's paying homage and doing it right.
Different cultures. Yeah. I think if I do the research on it and I see if it's like, you know, like Sudanese culture or like Egyptian culture or like any like Middle Eastern culture, if I do the knowledge and I realize that that's what she's paying homage to, I definitely would like it more. But if they took like the little Queen out the top left corner and just had the picture with the red, I think that'd be fine.
Thought it'd be Ella?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't pay attention to the font, but you pay like attention to like little intricate details.
Yeah,
like
because
that.
I have a lot of graphic designer friends, and then they'll be like, "Yo," I see them like they do like alternate artworks and they do like their own pieces. I'm like, "Yo, this is
it'd be better.
Like,
it'd be better than real artwork."
Like yo, you snapped. Like you really did like such a good job. And
so I went through 3 people for my new project. Oh, you ain't put me on.
No, I told you. I said you should do more young, up and coming.
But you ain't plugged the plug though.
You said I forgot what you said.
Man, you know what? We're going to let one of your people let the people do a single or something. All the Taylor people that's listening, man, let's do a single or something together, man. Let's work. So yeah, Nicki's album is coming. The artwork, I thought it was cool. You know, I thought it was cool. Definitely check it out if you haven't seen it. Album is coming in August. And she's rolling it out. Her rollout is very traditional, though.
Yeah, she's going back.
Very, like, it's not, like, quick. And I feel like if
singles,
anybody...
interviews...
I feel like if anybody could kind of be in this new wave of, yo, the album's coming Thursday, and then it just dropped, Nicki could do that because she got a fan base. The Barbs, that's the Army and the Navy. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I feel like she could definitely make it happen, but her traditional rollout is rolling out. And I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing because it's slow. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's slow. It's like the single and then the next single and then the video and then announce the release date and then change the release date and then put out the cover art. Like, the cover art is out a month and a half before the album.
But I feel like that's what
then the next thing will be is going to be the track listing. Yeah, it's 2018. Like,
it's good to break out of that, but I think it's also good for like just to be like, you know, all of these other artists are dropping. I don't have no time to prepare. It's good to know that, you know, Nicki is giving me some time, and you know, I feel like it builds up more hype.
Yeah, more anticipation, give you something to look forward to.
A little teaser here and there. I think that's more exciting, at least to me.
Yeah, and I do feel like her fan base is not gonna fall off. Like, forget about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like they're gonna be anticipating it. Maybe not the general public. Like, the general public, I heard the date. Oh, it's coming in August. You know, I got 1,000 things to think about before August 10th. You know what I'm saying? So, like, for the general public, maybe. But her core audience, you know, I think that they revved up.
You know what we didn't talk about?
What?
Isn't Drake dropping this month?
Allegedly. We don't have a date, though.
We have a track list.
I saw the 29th. We got a track list? We do?
Yeah.
Of Drake album?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I seen it.
Pull it up. We're going to find this alleged. alleged Drake track list. I don't think it's a track list out there.
Sometimes like I think I see things, I think I like hear things, and I definitely be making it up.
Kids see ghosts sometimes.
Kids see ghosts sometimes because I be making mad stuff up.
Yeah, no. If there was a Drake track list,
what are you talking about?
That would have. I'd be like, what are you talking? I'm like that right now. If there was a Drake track list, and there'd definitely been conversation about it. Who's on it? Who's not on it? What does this song mean? Especially in the midst of all of this back and forth between him and Pusha.
I'm wrong.
Yeah, I don't think that happened. But we do allegedly have a Drake album coming on the 29th of this month. So we'll see what's up. More than just a little over 2 weeks. And some more life news, Tayler. You out here riding around and getting it? Wait, let me hit ride around and get it one time.
I'm riding around, I'm getting it. I'm riding around, I'm getting it. I'm riding around, I'm getting it. It mine.
Okay, beautiful. Beautiful. Tayler passed her written driver's test.
Yes, I did.
How you feeling?
I'm excited.
You ready to hit the road?
I'm a little nervous to hit the road, but I feel like for anybody who's listening who hasn't gotten their permit yet, I opened the book like 2 days before, a day before, and I passed. I got like a 95 on the signs and a 90 on the like rules of the road. So like, you could do it.
Like, you can do it? You can wing it?
The day before. Yeah. I know mad people that winged it.
What if everybody doesn't process information like that, though?
No, I don't. That's why I was so shocked when I passed the first time. I definitely need a while to, like, study and learn. But, like, if you really just, like, wake up early and, like, grind it out, most of it is common sense. Some of the stuff you may got to be like, hey, what does this mean? Like, this doesn't, like, translate well with me, but other than that, most of it is common sense.
Was there anything on there that you outright didn't know?
Yeah, it was one sign. It was like shaped like a triangle, but this way, and it was yellow, and it had black lining, and it said "Do not pass." And the question was like, "What does it mean?" So I said, "Do not pass." It was like, "No, do not pass. If it's 6:30 a.m., you can make this left, but if it's 6:31, no, you're not passing." I was like, what?
Got it. So with all that said, Tayler has her permit now. We're going to get back out here into these driving lessons. Yeah. We've been doing it a little bit, but now we can really, really go. Now
it's legal.
Yeah, now you got your, wow, you're just going to throw us out there to the cops like that? You know the hip-hop cops is listening.
Yeah.
Yeah, so now we can really get out there and ride around and get to it. So do you want to continue to learn with me? You feel like you need to go to a driving school or?
I think I don't really want to pay anybody to teach me how to drive.
Wow.
And I don't want you guys to pay.
Oh, okay. That made a lot more sense.
I think you guys are great drivers, so I think you guys could teach me. So, yeah, I've been taking driving lessons with Mom pointed to Dad. Is that you?
Who do you think would be the better teacher of your two parents?
Well, I drove with Mom 2 times, and it wasn't bad. Like, okay. It was good. I liked it. When I drive with you, I'm stressed.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. So she should teach you then?
Well, no, because she don't want to teach me.
Well, what about driving with me stresses you?
I don't know. It just be stressing me out. One time we was at the mailbox. And I went to go check the mail. And so I, get the mail out. Like, it's a package. And I turn around and Dad in the passenger seat. And I said, hey, what are you doing there, buddy?
How'd you get on that side of the car?
And he's like, oh, yeah, drive down the hill. I was like, drive down the hill? I don't know. It's just so.
What that is not stressing. I mean, that's not me stressing. I think the situation was more stressing.
Yeah, it was just like, drive right now. Like, I need like 5 minutes to like.
You need to prepare yourself?
Yeah. But I think you teaching me like how to drive, like do this, do that, do this, do that. I prefer you, but actually driving, I prefer Mom.
Okay.
Maybe because she's a female.
Yeah, maybe. I hope so. No doubt. So we'll keep you guys updated on what's going on with Tayler and her driving around. And yeah, man, I think it's time. We want to move into fan mail now.
Yeah, let's do fan mail.
Let's hit fan mail. Hold on, we got music fan mail. Let's hit that. You know what I'm saying?
Fan mail TLC. Fan mail.
Hey.
Fan mail.
Hey.
Just like you, I get lonely.
No doubt. Shout out to TLC. All right, so who's the first, Tay?
Well, on mine, we have fan mail from Philmatic365.
Shout out to my guy, Phil, from the Tissue and the Tape podcast. Always showing love. He says our podcast is his new must listen.
I appreciate it, Phil. Thanks.
Appreciate that, man. Definitely. I've been getting so much love from the people, fathers with daughters, you know what I'm saying? Like people with kids, like it's a big conversation. And a lot of people are saying how, like it's is something that they haven't been able to experience before with their kids, riding around with their kids, talking with their kids, and just having this type of dialogue. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's dope. Shout out to all the parents out there. Shout out to my sister April Walker, the legendary April Walker of Walkerware. So proud of this podcast. She's proud of us, Taylor.
Oh, I'm proud of you too. I miss you.
She's an OG. If you don't know about Walkerware, do your Googles. And she's dressed some of your favorite artists, old and new. So big shout out to April Walker.
I remember, just a little side note, we went to her house to like for you to get some pieces and stuff, and she had like these big like blow up prints on her wall, and it was like Biggie and like Tupac and like mad other people that I can't name right now. But I was like, wow, like she really dressed all of these people. Like that's so weird. Not that like
Jam Master Jay, Aaliyah. I mean, the list goes on and on.
Yeah.
She did so many amazing things. And even, on to modern day, a lot of people still rocking Walkerware, present company included in that. So shout out to April. Shout out to my man A King, you know what I mean? Also big part of the Combat Jack show and the great friends of Combat Jack from that Loudspeakers Network. He says, this is the best new podcast.
Oh, thanks.
We hot out here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We out here in these streets,
it's
man.
A lot of pressure.
Premium Pete, I'm subscribed. I'm coming on with my daughter soon. Shout out to Premium Pete, a big name in the sneaker culture and community.
Yeah, I recognize that name.
Also has a dope podcast. And he has this thing with his daughter, presence over presence. You know what I'm saying? And that's presence, being present over presence, just giving stuff, man. So shout out to Premium Pete, Baby Premium, and his older daughter as well. Shout out to Charlie Jeter. She hashtag twins on the photo, your favorite. Ace also said that. Did you see that?
No, but I told y'all in the second episode that I wanted to get rid of that.
Listen, I told him. I was like, yo, listen to the second episode to find out how Taylor feels about that. She said she loves that we're doing this. So shout out to Charlie Jeter. My man Jerry Barrow. He is now at, I want to say he's at BET now, but, from Scratch Magazine to Watch Loud to all the different crazy publications he's been a part of, man. He's an OG journalist, great dude, a hip-hop pop. And he said he loved the first episode and he thinks this is a great idea. So shout out to Jerry. And then somebody I don't know personally, Stripe B says, Torae, it should be called Fully Loaded. I guess that's when we were still talking about titles, right? And then he says, wow, love your daughter rocking that Wu-Tang shirt.
Oh, from the second
last week.
episode.
So your attire is getting these looks out here.
Listen.
You got love on a Naruto shirt.
I don't dress whack. I don't know if y'all thought I did, but I definitely
do that.
Never dress whack. I'm gonna just put that out there right now.
Let it be known.
Have you ever told that Wu-Tang shirt story?
What when you pulled it out the box?
Yeah.
So yeah, let's tell the story real quick. You know what? Let's read this last one in fan made so we can move out of this.
Eric, you gonna read that one because it's long.
Yeah. Eric and Jeff from It's the Real, the Rosenthals. They have a podcast, The Waste of Time. It's the Real, bunch of sketch comedy and all that. I hit them. We were talking in a group text. We have a group text with me, Eric, Jeff, and my man Matt Faststyle. And I was, they were like, yo, Tor, we love the podcast, whatever. And I was like, cool, give me a quote. You know what I'm saying? And I'm thinking it's gonna be like a one-liner or whatever.
I read this. I was like, this is a real review.
But they gave us
New York Times,
like a full quote. Rare is the podcast, radio show, or buddy comedy that has as much effortless conversation, side-splitting humor, and heart like these two stars. Father and daughter co-star Torae and Tayler have on the mic. Whether listening on the subway ride, on YouTube, via the podcast app built into your refrigerator, which I guess that's an inside joke, right? Yeah, because our refrigerator, you can play music on our refrigerator, but whatever. Time with the cars is extremely well spent. Thank you guys. We definitely appreciate,
really appreciate
that legitimate quote. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like
really
that really
New York Times.
Yeah, that definitely felt like it should have been in print.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In the magazine and all that. So now
means a lot.
On to the Wu-Tang story. So Taylor ordered some clothes from wherever you ordered it from. And when you were going through your clothes and going through your box, you pulled out this Wu-Tang shirt.
Well, first, let me
this Wu-Wear shirt.
I didn't know, I didn't put two and two together that Wu-Wear probably was like the Wu-Tang. I just like the color. Well, not when it came out of the package because, you know how they be getting down. But I like the color online. And I liked how it looked. And I was like, oh, yeah, shirt is fine. So I ordered it. It was a men's shirt. That should have been the second flag. But I pulled it out the box. And Dad was like, yeah, what's that? I was like, oh, I got this skirt. I got this hoodie, whatever. And I was like, oh, I got this shirt. So, Dad, you open it. He was like, Wu-Wear. And I was like, what's wrong with that?
Second.
And Dad was like, that's Wu-Tang. Like, Wu-Tang. I was like, oh, yeah, that probably makes a lot of sense. So then
You thought it was Chris Wu?
no.
Maybe.
I just I just did.
You just didn't put two and two together.
No. I don't think it said like Wu Wear like in the description. I just
I
just looked at the picture. But yeah, anyway. And so Dad is like, yeah. In order for you to wear the shirt outside, name all of the members. On the spot, I'm just like fresh out of school. I'm tired. I ain't eat. I'm a little sweaty because we live in Georgia. Dad like, name all the members of Wu-Tang that you can. And I was like, what? And so I referenced that one song.
Protect Your Neck. Nah, Protect Your Neck. No. Oh, no, Method Man. Yeah, I'm wild.
See, I know more than that. And so I just referenced that one song, and I got it. And so that's why I wore it.
Yeah. And then weeks down the line, we at dinner with Wu-Tang fam.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it just made sense.
Everything
came
how everything comes full circle.
But I was very impressed and proud of you in that moment, knowing the members of the Wu-Tang Clan. It shows that I'm definitely out here being a great dad and making sure you have, you know what I mean, some knowledge of good hip-hop. Which I guess brings us to our last segment, which is probably one of the most fun, the most talked about segments in our podcast. Yes, Put Me On. People like the concept of Put Me On. You know what I'm saying? That you putting me on to something that's possibly from your generation. I'm putting you on to something that's possibly from my generation. And we, you know what I'm saying? Like just kind of giving each other education and bridging the gap. You know, part of what's in our description. You know what I'm saying? Like bridging the gap on, you know, what's going on between your generation, my generation, culture, music, male, female, father, daughter, you know what I'm saying? Or parent, child. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a lot of, we cover a lot of ground with this, man. So, you went first last time.
So you can go
So
first.
I'm going to go first. Now this one is going to be funny. I want to know if you get it first and then we'll see.
Because, I am 2-0.
Yeah. Nah, you definitely are.
Well,
so
why are you getting yours? I might get mine because I got to find a clean version.
Definitely do that.
Yeah, I'm 2-0. Dad's.
You know what's crazy? As I listen back to both podcasts, I said both of the names right.
You did
on my
the first time.
And then I was like, but in fairness, I can't really hear. Like when I put the audio of the podcast on, I actually put the song in there.
No.
In the room, I can't even hear what you're playing.
I don't want to hear it.
You playing it off. Anyway, let's get into this week's edition of Put Me On. I do not always want it to be a song, though.
Okay.
It could be a movie, a TV show, a book, you know what I'm saying, an author, anything. You know what I mean? All right, let's do it.
May I see your driver's license, please? What's that, Interceptor?
Brainiac dum-dums, what's the scientifical?
Pigman, I'm not getting this.
And the force is centrifugal. Can you find your way through the lyrics that be catching them? Going on the rhyme across the room, they be fetching them.
Take a loss.
Hey.
No,
what?
Gay. Take your cash and set it.
There's so many like people that kind of like sound like this from that time, so I have a lot of like
Give me your best guess.
well, I can't even think of the name that I'm thinking of. Who made Scenario?
Tribe Called Quest.
Is it them?
It is not them.
Yeah, I knew it wasn't.
Okay.
That's it?
That's it? That's your
That's
best
all I
guess?
got? No, that's all I got. Yeah.
All right. Master Ace.
Oh, what?
That's
You
Ace.
don't even sound like him.
I knew that was gonna throw you because, like,
Man,
Ace is the homie.
That's cheating.
He's been to the house. We've been to his house.
Like, I know him.
He
I know his
took me on my
daughter.
first 2 tours. Yeah, that's fam. Shout out to Shade. Shout out to Milan. Shout out to Ace. But you know, in that era when he was making music, like his tone and his delivery and all that is different than what you know him as Ace. When he comes to the house and he's talking. And
his talking voice way different than his rapping voice.
Way different than that rapping voice, for sure.
That's not fair.
Yeah, man. So that's Jeep Ass from Master Ace that he remixed into a song called Born to Roll. He remixed that song into Born to Roll, and it went crazy. Probably his most known and successful record. And every time I heard it, I was like, man, all they did was change Jeep Ass to a whole different vibe, like a Cali vibe. But it worked for him, and big shout out to my big homie Ace, who I'm forever indebted to, because like I said, he took me on my first 2 tours and gave me a lot of game about the industry and, you know what I'm saying?
It's a big catalyst in your career.
Factory. Ace, Primo, DJ Eclipse. I don't want to leave anybody out, so I'm going to stop right here. Because Taylor's ready with her joint.
I am. Okay, here we go. You're not going to get this one.
Wow, no confidence.
No, it's just...
It used to be so hard to see. Your loving is easy. I was glad to be alone.
Is it Rex Orange County?
You got it! Yeah!
Yeah.
Yeah!
I was gonna say something totally different. I was gonna say,
Yo.
who did I think it was? Who did I think it was initially? I don't know, but then as I just kept listening to the tone, I was like, yo,
I should just cut it off.
that sounds like Rex. Shout out to Rex, Orange County, super dope.
Yeah, so if you guys don't know, Rex Orange County, how did I figure out about Rex? Kevin Abstract actually put me on. He's like, yo.
Kevin's had a mention on every episode of the podcast.
He has.
He's 3 for 3.
Kevin was like, yo, you guys listen to this album, Apricot Princess. And then I listened to Apricot Princess. I was like, yeah, this is dope. I like it. And then, like, a couple months later, I want to say, like, 7 months, he was on Flower Boy, which is Tyler, the Creator's album. And he did Boredom, and he did a couple other songs in there. So I was like, yeah, I really like Rex. So then I listened to his other album. And then he did his American debut and his TV debut on Fallon this year. So
hard. What's the name of that joint?
Loving is Easy.
That's hot. That's hot.
Yeah. I always put that onto you. If you had noticed, all the 3 songs I played, Dad was like, yeah, he's a spy. Yeah. Meanwhile, I have not listened to the other. No, just kidding.
That's foul. That's because you don't want to listen and learn. I didn't give a chance to ask you about what you know about Ace. So what do you know about Ace?
Not a lot.
Okay.
Like,
except that we went to Whole Foods together. And hung out in Jersey. And...
I know he didn't grow up in like the best of situations, and I know he has a sign with his lyric on it, close to where he grew up. That's literally all I know. You know
where he grew up? With Borough?
Listen, I want to say Brooklyn, but it looked like he didn't grow up in Brooklyn, but he jacked that he grew up in Brooklyn.
So you think he out here perping?
Yeah.
Nah, he grew up in Brooklyn, man. Okay. Brownsville's own, man.
Oh, yeah. That did look like a Brownsville.
Yeah, Howard Projects, man. Shout out to Ace. A pioneering MC from Brooklyn, New York. If you know anything about the Juice Crew and their huge record, The Symphony, he was a part of that. He put out his debut, Take a Look Around. He's going on to release a bunch of amazing albums. And what's always dope about Ace's albums later on in his career is that they all tell a story. So, like, between the skits and the way the songs are structured and the sequence and all of that, like, it plays out like a movie. You know what I'm saying? So, like, all concept albums. They're all
that's
conceptual.
Always super cool.
Very, very dope. And then outside of that, he also puts on an amazing live performance. Like,
yeah, I've seen him.
His live shows is crazy. Always got super energy. He wear like wristbands and knee pads and like I be like, fam, you know you're not playing football no more, right? Also a coach. He coached football for Canarsie High School. He coached football for
really?
Yeah.
Recently?
Coach Ace, yeah. I mean maybe not super recent, but a lot of people know him as Coach Ace, man. So
that's so weird because we lived in Canarsie.
He went to Sheep's Head. He's a big football fan.
Never mind. He really grew up in Brooklyn. I didn't know.
Yeah. He's an Eagles fan though, so that might throw you off. He's an Eagles fan. Shout out to all my peoples out there in Philly, and that is it. Wait, tell the people where Rex Orange County is from.
The UK.
It's back-to-back UK artists.
Yeah.
Was that intentional?
No.
You did.
I was just trying to figure out something that you may not have heard, but I knew you would like, which is always kind of hard because. Sometimes I really vibe with stuff that you might not vibe with. So I was trying to figure out something that from an artist that you might be familiar with, song that you haven't heard before, but I knew that you would like.
What's my son's name when he said your eyes is my eyes? what my son's name is? Suitman Stevens.
Jan Stevens.
My son's Suitman Stevens. His joint is crazy. What's the name of that joint?
Mystery of Love.
Yeah. Listen to the bars on Mystery of Love. He's not spitting, but I'm a fan of good writing. Like dope writing is dope writing. It doesn't matter what genre of music. It could be rock, it could be country, it could be hip hop, R&B, whatever. Like if you push your pen and you say something crazy, son said, "Oh, to see without my eyes the first time that you kiss me." Yo, that's crazy. That's crazy.
And they hear the instruments in the back. Yo, I'm getting hyped. I'm like,
we gonna listen to that ride home.
Okay.
All right, man. Listen, thank you guys for listening. Thank you for rocking with us. Let's close out with a call to action. Please follow, subscribe, rate, like, comment, download, share with your friends. Any sponsors out there that want to hold us down, you know what I'm saying?
For you Androidites, you Google, it's on Google Play now. We got it on Google Play.
Allegedly. I got the email that is up there, but every time I stop somebody with a Google phone, they can't find it.
Well, maybe it's like those like HTC phone.
I don't know what these people doing out here with them Obama phones, but everybody who don't have an iPhone, catch us on YouTube, on SoundCloud, and I do believe we're gonna pop up at some point in the Google Play store. Shout out to the homie who hit me. I can't shout him out because I don't remember his name, but also we didn't get the shirts and all that yet. So when we get it, we'll shout you out. But if you do want to sponsor, you want to send some apparel, definitely hit us up. We're looking for sponsors. We hope you enjoy the pod. Any departing last words, Tayler?
No. See you guys next week.
Facts. We got to figure out next week's schedule because I got to go out of town. So we got to.
I don't think this should be on the air.
What's all right? We'll just let the people know.
Oh, well, Dad won't be here. Ooh, I do a podcast by myself.
And on that note, we up out of here. Peace and love.
Peace.